What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you who my favorite players are. There are a lot of players that I like, but these are my top 3. Stay tuned. Alright, so number 1 on my list is the GOAT, Jordan. He is the GOAT in my eyes. In my opinion, he is the greatest of all time. I know everyone has their guy or their player, and there's an open debate about who is the GOAT, but in my book, he's the GOAT. I mean, I feel like he set the bar. He set the tone for what everyone else is trying to aspire to. I mean, he came in, he changed the game, he changed the NBA. His impact is just amazing on the game still to this day, even after he's been retired for several years. He had it all. He had skill, he had athleticism, he had the competitiveness and the mentality. He had ultimate respect from every player that he played against on the court. Every player coming up behind him wanted to be just like him. They modeled their game, even a little bit of their games, after him. Everybody tried to do a Jordan move once or twice or 5 times in their careers. So he's the guy. He's the blueprint. You know, I feel like every player that is a top player today has been influenced by Michael Jordan. So he's the GOAT. That's just my opinion. He will always be. I mean, I feel like he still hasn't been surpassed. He still has set that bar, and no one has really reached it. His game speaks for himself. Everybody says, you know, he couldn't do what he did back in his era in today's era. I disagree. I believe he could play and compete and dominate in this era just like he did in his era. I mean, he had 6 trips to the finals, came out with 6 rings, 2 three-peats. He retired twice, came back and still dominated. I mean, he's got several individual accolades, All-Stars, NBA, MVPs, you know, Best Defensive Player of the Year, you know, Finals MVPs. He's got it all. He done it all. So, the GOAT. All right, number 2 on my list is the Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant. Love this guy. I know I said that no one has surpassed or come close to reaching the level of Jordan, but if there's anybody, he came the closest in his career to reaching that level, in my opinion. He pretty much mirrored his game after Jordan, you know, took a lot from his game, and a lot of people, you know, talk bad about him for that, you know, give him crap about doing that, but I don't feel anything is wrong with him doing that. I mean, why wouldn't you want to model your game or be like or be even better than the greatest player? So I don't feel like, you know, that's a bad thing he did that. Even though he took a lot from Jordan's game, he still had a unique identity in his own game. He still was Kobe Bryant. You could talk about Kobe Bryant as Kobe Bryant and not just as a duplicate of Michael Jordan, because he wasn't that. You know, he was a total package. Skill, athleticism. You know, he had IQ, mentality, competitiveness. He had it all. He had it all. And, you know, he is the best player and probably will always be the best player to come out of high school and play in the NBA at the level that he did. And I don't think no one would ever live up to that status as a player straight out of high school, 18 years old, coming in the league and doing what he did in his 20 years. His work ethic is impeccable. You know, he one of his quotes is, you know, train as much as you can as often as you can. He would work out 6 hours a day. He'd have like 3 or 4 workouts a day, 2-hour workouts a day, starting at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And that just shows you his dedication, his commitment, and his studiousness to his craft. And it showed in his game. It showed on the court. You know, he did not have a weakness. He didn't lack anything in his game. He defended. He scored. He can take you off the dribble. He can shoot. He can make plays for other teammates. He knew the game, ins and out of the game. He was a player coach. So, you know, he's just the second greatest player in my book. He's the greatest Laker, in my opinion. I know we got Kareem, we got Magic, Worthy and all those guys. And I respect those guys too, but I feel like he had the greatest impact on the organization, and he's just the greatest player in my opinion, the greatest Laker in my opinion. He always will be. I said when he was number 8, he was just a goon, young Kobe. He played with a chip on his shoulder, like he had something to prove. He dunk on you, he cross you over. He was really trying to make a statement, make his presence felt, and he did. And when he changed to number 24, he became the assassin, the Mamba. He was just playing chess out there. Everybody else was playing checkers. I mean, his footwork game is just crazy. He made the most difficult shots, consistently made the most difficult shots. Everybody talk about his shooting percentage just because he took contested, difficult shots that a lot of guys couldn't knock down. He wanted to take the pressure shots and the clutch shots. He wanted to have the ball at the end of the game, and that's another reason I love him. So Kobe Bryant, my number 2 on my list, not quite reaching Jordan, but the closest thing to it. The next player on my list is Tamika Catchings. I've been a Tamika Catchings fan since she played for the Tennessee Lady Vols back when I was still coming up, playing high school ball. And I just always loved watching her play. I've always gravitated to her game. Just her eye energy, her motor, her competitiveness, her toughness. She's never taken a play off, never taken a second off that she's been on the floor. I just love her style of play. A lot of my game is styled like hers. I got a lot of how I play from watching her play. She's a stat sheet filler. She does it all. She scores, she rebounds, she defends, she sets her teammates up for plays. So I model my game after that, because I just have the mentality that if you're versatile, if you're helping to contribute to the team in several areas, then you're valuable and you're going to stay on the floor because you're contributing across the board and not just one or two areas of the game. She was a great player at Tennessee, won championships. She's going to be a Hall of Fame player in the WNBA. She's got MVP awards. She's got championships in the NBA. A lot of individual statistics and accolades as well. So my number 3 favorite player is Tamika Catchings, representing for the women's basketball players. All right, guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Tell me who your top players are in the comments below, and subscribe to the channel for more videos.